1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I have a story. Last February, my friends and some of them who are my students, we ran this photo booth in a school fair, and there was a middle-aged mother who was quite maybe naiinitan, anxious, and they got a bit upset to the point that they were raising their voice at me and my staff. And how did I handle it? Because some of the younger people were freaking out. I went up to her and I said, "Hello ma'am, pasensya na po, mahaba yung pila. May queuing system po tayo. Anong number po nyo? Number 22. Yes ma'am, currently we're number 17. Pila lang po kayo dito. Here, may free water po kayo. Relax muna tayo, alam ko medyo mainit." Look, there's a mature and empathetic way to be able to deal with these titas who are frustrated and potentially menopausal, gang. We don't have to necessarily resort to all these labels, because when my students and staff were like, "Oh, what happened?" I told them the same way I told you what I did. I didn't say, she was a Karen, blah, 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 blah. Because the point in which you say that, either as someone saying it to them or someone talking about it in the social sphere, in the real world that we see, it makes it less proximate and nuanced to the reality at the point in which it becomes a meme. Why is their side unable to take this debate? Number one, even if they were consistent with their stance, they fully weren't able to respond to us by virtue of direct or indirect engagement by virtue of POI, meaning, check your flow. We engaged with them, they barely engaged with us. At best, they were dismissing it and saying na, look, it's effective, therefore it should be good. We think the end does not justify the means, and the point in which you allow this particular behavior is exactly the point in which you favor those white supremacists who you claim to it being called out for, right? Meaning those progressive, young, Gen Z wokes who make fun of these things when it came about in degenerate culture is exactly what we want to avoid. Because the POI I was going to raise to whip, but they weren't able to take it, this is a very interesting question. My question was going to be, what happens if they are a bad person who does racial bias, misuses their authority, and gives unwarranted complaints, but they're not a Karen, meaning they might be upper class or lower class, they might be non-white, they might not fit the bill of a Karen, meaning not all Karens are racist, the same way not all racists are Karen, right? You cannot necessarily dilute it. And to be very clear, I'm not dodging the motion, I'm not being literal, because the second reason why they can't win is just vibe checking the frame, man. Like, you have to jump so many heuristics to believe op case, meaning, yeah, this Karen thing, hyper nuanced, bro. People know it's not ad hominem at all. It's super nuanced, but we're using the slang to be able to call it out. And they take it well, they're able to change, we're able to get behavior. No, man, like, it often legit ends in the laugh, in the punchline, in the meme. Oh, what happened? Oh, wala bro, Karen lang sa shakies. Hassle. Diba? It makes it less likely to arrive at the root cause, which is something that we told you throughout their speeches. Third, and most importantly, is just in terms of depth of argumentation with respect to burden fulfillment and spirit of the motion. Because they try and portray a very mild version of Karen, which we think might exist. There might be some Karens who are willing to change, but on average, what this does to the quality of discussion, what this does for the feminist movement is very different. So, in order for us not to perpetuate subjective toxicity and hostility, we're very proud to reject this, oppose it, and we're proud to stand on side proposition. Thank you.